Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to specifically talk about America going to barter systems again. All right, this is truly fascinating to me. So we are all, everybody on this channel, if you're listening to this channel, you are dialed into how is the American political system functioning? How can we make it function better? How can we identify when there are trends that are making it function worse, right? But when you see the return of the barter system, you are like, wait, what? Like, we got to pay hyper close attention to this because we're in Donald Trump's America right now. These are some very unusual years. Donald Trump has used the U.S. presidency in ways that no president in history has used the role of presidency. So, one, I think overall, Donald Trump, he has really written new rules for how to obtain power, new rules for how to maintain power, new rules for how to manage power, right? And I'm convinced. I have a political science degree, and I can tell you right now, no political science student will not have to study President Trump in depth for the next 100 years because he's changed the game for a century, right? And again, I'm not talking about the right or wrong or morality, right? Like, is this right? Is this wrong? Is this morally right? Is this morally wrong? Is this chaotic good or chaotic evil alignment? If you want that kind of moral statement and moral decisioning, right, you can get that at any site, any major mainstream news source that used to be objective that now has moved into morality media, right? MSNBC, Washington Post, all those guys, right? You know, basically they'll tell you the right and wrong. Like, they've completely abandoned objective media reporting, objective journalism, and now it's morality journalism, and they'll tell you the morality that you should follow, right? So, and if you want that, you're not going to find it here. I'm talking about the tactics, the strategies, what wins, what loses, what has to be paid attention to, what has to be dealt with if you are vying for power in America, for political power in America. And I'm predicting, right? So I'm moving into tactics, strategy, and prediction, right? Morality media, like morality journalism, you can get that for any mainstream news source will give you that to you and give your the moral good bad, right? I'm trying to move beyond that, right? But I do think we need to pay hyper close attention to what is happening right now, which is the return of barter, and it's returning in a very in one traditional way and in one very non-traditional way. Okay. So one, I think, we're seeing, actually, we went from having the lowest unemployments in history to the highest unemployment in history, right? Now, that, in my opinion, that has absolutely nothing to do with Donald Trump. It has to do with the mask months, right? We're all wearing masks now, and the mask months have said, we're back to 1918. This changes everything. It changes the entire dynamic of politics. It changes the entire dynamic of the economy. This is bigger than the presidential role. I don't think for a second that any president would have been able to stop the unemployment rolls rising so dramatically, so quickly, right? We have I think we have 30 million people, like maybe 40 million people now on the unemployment rolls. It's huge, right? And so you have that situation, right? So with that, if you have a ton of people who don't have money flowing in, right, they're going to be bartering. And I'm seeing that. I'm seeing people trading. I'm seeing people like, oh, hey, can you bring over a casserole and I'm going to help you sweep out your shed? I'm hearing those kind of stories. You're seeing some stuff, right? I have not seen anywhere near me, even in places that have a little less, right? No one is struggling to get food at this point. We're just not there, right? People are still enough to eat, right? Like, yes, probably people are eating less. That's for sure. But we just haven't reached a point in America yet where people can't get food, right? There's still lots of programs. If you're that if you've reached that point, there's still lots of places you can reach out and say, I literally don't have food for my family. Can you help? And there's a lot of help out there. I think we still have just layers and layers and layers of organization that will meet those needs, and that's where we're at currently. But generally, people have a lot less money, right? And I think this is going to start to increase more. And I am literally seeing barter come out. Like, people are doing more bartering. It is rising. That's one area where I'm seeing barter. What really shocked me is high-tech, high-end, high-economy bartering. Really, really incredible. And I think it's starting to come out in a lot of new ways. So I think this started with airplane miles, right? And I actually think a lot of these reward systems are really just a very high-tech bartering system, right? Where you're seeing people are like, well, I got my American dollar and I can buy things with that, but what other currencies do I have? And that's when you're saying that's really barter, right? It's really saying, okay, what can I trade for this, right? And I saw this very directly recently with my new HBO Max. I've been really fascinated by this. I recently got HBO Max for free. I'll tell you exactly how, and how I think I bartered for HBO Max. And I think this type of bartering is going to be on the rise massively going forward. Okay? So basically, we needed to get a new phone. I have five phones on my current plan. I pay for the phone for every single person in my family, right? At this point, every single person in my family has a phone, right? The vast majority of us have Pixel 3As. Four out of 6 have Pixel 3As. Best phone you can buy, in my opinion. Dollar to value, fantastic. I highly recommend it. Okay, but we have this service, and I'm not even going to mention the service because that's not really what this is about. What our phone service is, but so we went to the phone service and we said, hey, we want a new line. And actually, when we knew we needed a new line, I had a conversation with my wife, and I said, because my wife does all the phone material, and the reason why is I got to go to work. And then my wife has a little more flexibility in her schedule, and she can go and she can take care of the things in the middle of a business day when there's nobody there, right? And so she's kind enough to do these kind of tasks for the family. So she did it, right? So she went and I said, how much is this new line going to cost? And she goes like, before she even called, she's like, it'd be like $25 to $35 extra, right? And I'm like, oh boy, that's our bill is really getting up there. And I said, should we find a new provider? This is a car payment that we're paying for our phone bill, right? And she's like, yes, we are paying our car payment, but everybody's happy with the service, and we all use our phones, and we get pretty much everything we want out of them. And boy, was she right. We do pay a lot for our phone service, but we get a lot out of it. It's not like we don't get value for what we're paying. We do, right? We use our phones in a myriad of ways, right? And the family's really blessed by our phone service. Our mobile phone service, by the way. We haven't had a landline for 15 years. If you got a landline still, there's something you better really check, man. Like, enjoy your Hotmail account. If you've got a landline, you better lose it. Like, there's no reason in the world to have a landline anymore. That's just Scott Garibay, tech professional talking right there. This is my 2 cents. All right. So I said, so my wife goes, right? And she comes back. And I said, so what happened, right? And she's like, well, we got it. It was $32 for the new line. But we now have unlimited data. We didn't have that before. We did not have unlimited data. And so they gave us for nothing. We paid the money we expected to pay for the new line. But in addition to that, they gave us unlimited data for free. And they gave us HBO Max for free. And I was like, what? I can start watching HBO Max today? And she's like, today, I'll install it on your phone immediately, right? And, well, she had the password. I did the install, right? And so I was like, bet. Well, that's fantastic, right? So we got unlimited data. Throw that away. Like, it's great, but it's not part of the story, right? But HBO Max, a streaming service I desperately wanted, but had zero willingness to pay for, right? There's no way we were ever going to get HBO Max if I had to sign up for it. No way in the world. I'm like, we can't even watch all the streaming services we already pay for, right? And so I was just making do with Netflix, right? Now there's a ton of better stuff on HBO Max than there is on Netflix. Plus, I've had Netflix for years, so HBO Max is just this huge treasure trove. It's a new mansion I can live in, and I am living in. I have not opened Netflix since I got HBO Max, right? But I got this for nothing. I did not pay a single dollar for it. I paid for a new line, right? And my phone provider said, here's unlimited data and here's HBO Max. And we were ready to pay between $25 and $35 for the extra new line. I'd already, we talked that through. I said, if it's between $25 and $35, let's do it, all right? If not, let's get a new provider, all right? Because I wasn't going to pay $40, $45, $50 extra dollars for one extra line, right? And so basically, Our phone provider knew that. They know that every time a new line is added, one, you can't just call up and do that. You got the way we do our phones, right? We need to send somebody into the shop, and they got to talk to a real human being. And my wife did, right? And the way we do it, it's seamless. Everything on the old phone is on the new phone. Not a single thing is lost, right? And we need to talk to real people to do that. And also, because this is a car payment, I want to talk to a real human. We want our family has to talk to a real human before we add any more to this gigantic bill, right? And they knew, my phone provider knew, this is a trigger to leave. We must make sure this person does not leave, right? And I will tell you right now, I'm twice as likely to stay with the current. I am very, very, very incented to stay with this current provider because they are giving me something more than the phone service. They are bartering me, a mega streamer, for my loyalty to their brand. It is barter, right? And I think it's absolutely fascinating that our country's economics are changing so much, so quickly, right? That barter is returning. In the old traditional, I don't have money, I'm going to barter. And in the new, I got lots of money, but I want to be able to spend currency, barter, for my loyalty. Not just dollars anymore, but I want things for free. I want gifts to be given to me. I want to barter my brand loyalty for real incentives, right? And HBO Max, I am now bartering my loyalty, and I do not plan to change my phone bill, even at the incredibly high rate that it is, for 3 more years. In fact, as long as I have HBO Max and there's plenty of cool things to watch there, I will not want to leave my phone service. How on earth is a mega streamer affecting who I choose to give my phone bill? Through barter. It is a major, major signal that the economics of America is changing, and that means the politics of America is changing. All that's my opinion. What do you think? Have you seen instances of barter returning in your life? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.